think the Spider-Verse and the Web of Spiders and all that goofy stuff was one of the worst decisions that Marvel had ever made regarding this character. At that point, he had been, they had done other versions of the character. You had your Clone Wars, you had your Spider-Man 2099 and all of that. But when they introduced that, the whole idea that there's these, for whatever reason, getting bit by a spider uniquely is not unique anymore. Now anybody can be a spider folk. They cheapened the character. I did a segment years ago talking about this, and that time, I don't know if y'all remember, I was holding up all these books. This was back then when I went to the comic book shop every Wednesday, and I was showing y'all all the current versions of Spider Folk that were either in other books or had their like own books. And I talked about how Silk, it was during when she was in the Agents of Atlas and she was doing her thing, and they were just bringing back Spider-Man 2099, and you had the Superior Spider-Man, which we know isn't Peter, but you get what it is that I'm saying. Same thing. You had Miles Morales. Spider-Man had his own thing. At the time, Peter had like Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man as well as the Amazing Spider-Man. It was like 25 Spider-Man or books with Spider Folk in it. The character's been so cheapened, and it's become more and more obvious. Well, we have yet another one that is going to be now a spider person because of reasons. Black Cat, y'all know, is a Felicia Hardy, who they also tripled down on, and her being like gay as shit, by the way. In the upcoming Edge of the Spider-Verse series, you're going to see Black Cat is now a spider person. Adding her to, and by the way, if you've read those books, they're fucking ridiculous. If you read that one book with Miles, where I think it was like the third volume of Spider-Verse, and I think or something like that, and he was doing, and you saw like Transformer Spider-Man and obviously Aunt May's Spider-Man, and there's all these different spider folk. Now Black Cat's a spider person, and yeah, so artist Chris Anka took to Twitter to post some of the character drawings and designs for the upcoming Edge of the Spider-Verse. I mean, the artwork here isn't terrible, but it's why? That's my question. Felicia Hardy, a vigilante anti-hero, commonly operates under the alias Black Cat, takes on a new persona, Night Spider. That's what they're going with. And I don't think they don't call Spider-Gwen isn't Spider-Gwen now anymore. She's a Ghost Spider, ain't it? Ain't that what they call her? Some shit like that. So you got Ghost Spider. Now you got Night Spider. While not much is known about the character of what Hardy's powers it may entail, she'll be web slinging like the fucking rest of them. Under art series, Hardy swinging on webs and donning the iconic spider logo on her back, and you can see it right here. We have the new designs of Black Cat. This is all of this shit is fucking fanfic, man. Edge of the Spider-Verse, and now it's Black Cat looking kind of like this Spider-Man when he was, his black suit and Venom shit. But it's, that's all that it is. It's literally the same fucking suit. Not the same exact suit, but essentially all that it is. So you can see the sketch here, concept design of Black Cat being Night Spider. Very interesting and very intriguing. Of course, it's a 5. They're putting out so many mini-series here, man. With this, because I know they knew if it was an ongoing series, it'd be canceled by issue 5 anyway. So I guess that's the way to do it. Marvel previously published a similar anthology of the same name back in 2014. The Edge of the Spider-Verse will introduce a number of brand new spider heroes, as well as reacquaint fans with some fan favorites, such as Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Gwen, and Spider-Man India. Each issue will contain 3 separate stories full of new debuts and new surprises. Yeah, very new. Who is this? Is this Spider-Gwen? Who is this? Which Spider-Folk is that? So just let's take a step back. This should be, of all the characters, one of the characters that there's the only one of him, right? That it's the only kind of it's not a mantle. I know they are mantle. It's a mantle. No, of all the characters that make the most sense for it just to be unique to Peter Parker, and one character should be Spider-Man. Reason being is because of how, number one, he was created, and how he got his powers. Though it's not exactly just that. You know, you consider the fact that this motherfucker was bit by a radioactive spider, and it just happened to happen that way. It's one of those things of chance where, okay, I happen to be here walking to see these guys operating this experience where the spider was at, and then that spider bit me, right? That should be a unique, once in a lifetime situation. And then you add the fact that the reason why he is Spider-Man is a lot due to his own individual intellect, right? The fact that he's smart as fuck, his own upbringing, you know, he wanted to be a wrestler and all of that. He was trying to get this money for his aunt and all that. And he was participating in wrestling, and the wrestling suit was a suit that he made. You know what I mean? Like, this should be unique to Peter Parker. They have somehow cheapened him so much to where now it's literally a countless amount of them. Like, there's no it's a countless amount of Spider-Folk, and they keep creating new ones. So he gets cheapened and cheapened and cheapened. Ultimate Universe Spider-Man literally gets then you have Miles Morales Spider-Man. His origin story is literally a copy and paste of literally a copy and paste, which makes sense because the same person wrote it as the Ultimate Spider-Man, Peter Parker Ultimate Spider-Man. It's the same exact thing. It's just literally a copy and a paste. So now they're figuring out, who else can we make a Spider person? Because really, this is how Marvel treats their brands now. And this is why, if you are a person that cares about story and the universe and its development and all that, DC and Marvel does not make shit for you and mine, and not anymore. These characters are just brands at this point that they can use to sell merchandise. That's it. They can sell merch. They can do goofy versions of there's no uniqueness. Nobody has any uniqueness anymore. It's like, okay, we can make a different version of this character, which is the only thing that they're interested in. DC makes John Kent gay. Why? Well, because now we can sell rainbow shit with the S, the S, the symbol of Superman. We can make that shit rainbowed. That's why they did it. And this is all they fucking care about. They only care about exactly that. And it's lazy often, these equal bad narratives, but more importantly, like, it cheapens the character that people actually knew and love. And obviously all of these characters are knockoff. But think about it. The only people that are going to be like interested in these characters are like cosplayers. Cosplayers, fake fans, normies, those guys on Twitter and shit that act like they fans of the characters, but they don't even own comic books. They have a Marvel unlimited subscription that they pay $3 a fucking month for, that they don't even read the books out of. They just have it to say they have it, so they can screenshot every now and then something and I don't know, turn that into their profile picture, then pretend like they some fans or some shit. That's the only people that care about stuff like this. They're not book readers. They don't give a shit about that. They like I say this about Miles Morales, for example, all the time. They do not like Miles Morales. They like the idea of Miles Morales. That's it. That's it. They like the ideas that there's a black version of Spider-Man. That's what they like, the idea of it. They don't actually like the character because there's nothing interesting about it. Or there's not a version, there's nothing unique about that character that we haven't already seen from Peter Parker or a version of him. It's boring. But it also shows how these guys have no creativity. They're incapable of making new and interesting things. They've run out of talent, and it's not because there isn't talent. There's plenty of people that are in the independent circuit that have obviously characters that are not tied to Marvel or DC, that they somehow was able to create something refreshing and new. I reject this idea wholeheartedly that everything's been done. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. It's not true. There's plenty of cool things that people and creative people are able to come up with that they can make in like the superhero realm. It's just that they ain't working for Marvel or DC. Marvel and DC hires cat food eaters and people without talent. And to be fair, those are the same people.
You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.